Hi, you're on the Bible Forum. What do you think about Ukraine? Doug Casey's International Man communique had a very troubling communique this past week. His publication tells us that for 8 years, NATO has backed puppet rulers in Ukraine, that they have funded these rulers in their attacks on the Donbass. The Donbass is the historical, cultural, and economic region in eastern Ukraine, largely made up of formerly Russian citizens. And it is where the majority of the military action is taking place. In so doing, they are repeatedly violating something called the Minsk treaties, outlawing the speaking of Russian in the Luhansk and Donetsk republics, and destroying democratic opposition and free media in Ukraine. Now, I read that and I asked myself the question, why don't I know this? And is Casey telling the truth? The result, he says, is a one-party government essentially owned and financed by the United States and administrated by U.S. operatives. Not a whole lot of subtlety there. Yet somehow the U.S. has managed to convince us and other Western countries that Russia is the bad boy. Ukraine is the victim, and Russia is out of control and must be stopped. He goes on to say, in spite of all the above, Russia remains stoic and sought continually to keep a lid on the situation.